Yeah, I'm done, bro. So let's move on to the next one, bro. It seems like a minor thing. Again, these smaller moves, these smaller things that happen, they have bigger repercussions than a lot of people may think. Okay, so you want to take a step back and look at the big picture. Okay, so we're gonna talk about T.Y Hilton's injury, right? I wasn't drafting Ty. Were you drafting Ty Hilton?
No, absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. So people out there are probably saying the same fucking thing. I wasn't drafting him. Who cares? Well, let me tell you why you should care about Ty going down and what the next steps are. Because the Colts wanted Ty Hilton. The Colts re-signed him and left him on the team, and they were gonna. He was the veteran on the team. So whether we thought he was gonna be good or not, and whether we were drafting or not, he was gonna get targets. They were gonna throw the ball to him. All right, but now his fucking neck is all fucked up, right? So his targets and him being on the field is now not going to happen. They put him on IR. It's the short term IR, but I don't see this guy coming back from a neck problem within 3 weeks. So more than
Nah,
likely, it's going to be longer. So this is why it's important because who's the next man up? Now that the veteran is gone, all right, and the targets that he were going to get are available. Now is where you see who's going to get those targets. Okay, and so you're dealing with Michael Pittman gets a bump. Okay, now he becomes probably the biggest beneficiary. So you got Michael Pittman, Paris Campbell. Now Paris Campbell has another block moved out of his way. He's a second round pick of the Colts a couple years ago. He's had trouble staying healthy, but he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. Now T.Y. Hilton's out of the way. Does Paris Campbell get a bump? And another name, the boring name, but the name that's probably gonna get you the most points, Zach Pascal. Okay, this guy, boring ass name, but last year scoring points. Okay, he was scoring you 10, 11, 12 points every other game. Okay, because he was the only guy available, and Michael Pittman wasn't firing regularly. So the cheapest option out of all of them, you get a Zach Pascal, and he could hit. But if not, the beauty of it, if he doesn't hit week one, Zach Pascal's not involved. You drop him, you hit the waiver wire, and you find a new guy. But for Dynasty, it's all about Pittman and Paris Campbell. These two guys are getting more opportunities now than they were going to get before. T.Y. Hilton's out of the way. Carson Wentz is going to be looking for one of these guys. Who I'm excited to see which one of them gets the ball and what they can do with it.
well, guys, like I've already said this past in previous podcast. Go get yourself Jacob Eason. I'm telling you guys, if you guys are gonna have a backup quarterback sitting in your roster not doing nothing, go and drop him and pick this guy up. Because I don't think Carson Wentz is completely healed from this foot. First of all, they bring him back, then they say he's not good for week one, then they say he is good for week one. So there's a lot of back and forth with this. But you're right, Brandon. I mean, who comes out of this winning the most? We're gonna have to see. I like Zach Pascal as well as a sleeper here because he's done it with a bunch of quarterbacks, not just one. And he's always catching passes. And if you can get 10, 11 points for a guy that you can probably pick up right now in the waiver wire, I
Right now,
think,
he's on the waiver. Right now,
yeah,
nobody drafted Zach Pascal. I can bet you, unless it was me every now and then. If not, he's on the waiver,
yeah.
guaranteed, bro.
Unless no, I got him on. I'm not gonna lie, brother. I got him on a bunch of my teams. That's like one of my deep back end guys. He's been one of my back end guys for the past 4 or 5 years. I'm gonna be insanely honest with you. This is somebody that I've plugged in crazy times when I've needed him to score me, 10, 12 points. He's sometimes gotten me 18 points. Like, he's came through for me. And he's not a household name. He's really not. But he's done this with a bunch of quarterbacks, whether the quarterback is good, bad, or ugly. It doesn't matter. He's done it with all types of quarterbacks. So, I'm just anxious to see who Carson Wentz, if Carson Wentz ends up being the starter, who he gels with the most. Sleeper for the Colts as well. That guy Strachan. Sometimes he's going in the back ends of deep drafts, like in 26 rounds. Sometimes he's not even going. If you can pick this guy up on the waiver wire, he looked good in preseason. I'm not a fan of the preseason. Remember, me and Brandon weren't too crazy about this preseason. They weren't really starting the starters. They weren't really showing us what they usually show us in preseason and what we're accustomed to in the past, and it's kind of sucks. So it kind of like you want to get excited, but I like what I saw from this guy, and I'm just antsy, and I'm trying to see, what's going to happen with Wentz. Is he going to start? Is he not going to start? And if Eason is good or if he's just a backup. I'm dying to see that too because I like this guy's measures. He's 6'6" or 6'5", and he weighs 220 some pounds. He's tall. He can see the field. Can he throw it? I'm dying to see if he can, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think Michael Straken, the guy that you mentioned, Strachan, whatever, I think that's a good guy to bring up. For me, he's that type of guy that maybe you're not a contender, maybe you took an over an orphan, like JP said, and you're just trying to put talent on your team, right? You're trying to grab these maybe home run guys or these guys that for that you can get for cheap or for nothing that maybe become something and then you could sell them. So he's one of those guys that if you're not a contender, if I'm a contender, I'm probably not wasting a roster spot on him because there's too many unknowns. But if I'm not a contender, that's the type of guy you grab and you put him on there. And as soon as he hits, as soon as he fires, you sell his ass because the odds are he's not going to be anything super special. And you got to just keep turning that roster, keep getting picks for that guys.
No, yeah, you don't want to get stuck with the next Travis Fulgham. That's
Yeah.
for damn sure.
I mean,
And
that's literally, I mean, you couldn't have said it better, bro. I like Eason. I grabbed him in a couple leagues. I mean, in my opinion, I think Wentz is going to start. I think he's going to start. All he was moving around. That foot looks good. The Quentin Nelson, the guy had the same foot surgery. The offensive guard, and he's moving just as good, man. So I mean, if
okay.
it was just Wentz by himself, I would be a little wary of what truth is coming out versus not. But the fact that another guy on the same team had the same surgery and then at the same time and is moving just the same way tells me that if I ever have a foot problem, I need to call that doctor because apparently that doctor knows what the fuck he's doing, bro.
No,
So
yeah, for sure.
we're going for that, right? Like that's what we call. Like